friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's having a fabulous July 1st. Before we get into the theme, which is our freedom of finances theme for the month of July, I really want to talk to you guys about the credit card tracker that is in this budget planner. So this is one of the videos that I really wanted to do before I started July. So today is a perfect day for me to set some time aside and do this for you guys. But first, if you guys are new here, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video, but most importantly, say hello. All right, so what is the credit card tracker? There's two ways that you can do this. So let's just hop right in on over. Let me show you. In this video, I'm going to explain two ways that you can use this credit card tracker so you can pay off your debt. And what debt I mean is credit cards, okay? So there's two ways. A lot of people really need visual learners. They need something very simple, visual, and effective that really can just ultimately help you. Sometimes when you have too much, I believe that too much hurts people because then at that point it just becomes overwhelming. I'm going to show you how to use this and two popular methods a lot of people like to use. Let me go over the two methods and you can choose and make that decision for yourself since you're on your own personal budgeting journey, okay? You can see where this is the credit card tracker, the month, okay? So you have your date right here. So you can list the date that you're in. You can list the credit card that you want to pay off. You can list your payments, what the interest rate, and your balance. So if you're just making payments, and then you can list them out here. If you are maybe you just want to list out all of your credit cards just to see what you have, you can do the same thing. So it's really just about listing out your credit cards, okay? Listing out your credit cards. If you want to keep track of them, that's where, you would list out your payment, what is your interest, now what is the balance, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. This is the credit card tracker. You're basically listing out all of your credit cards, but there's two ways that you can essentially pay off your credit cards with, and one way is called the Avalanche Method, and the other way is called the Snowball Method. With the Avalanche Method, you're listing your cards by the highest interest rate, okay? So what you would need to do is grab a piece of paper, and you would have to, let's say this is your blank piece of paper, you would take a piece of paper, you would list out all of your credit cards, and you would also have to list out what the percentage is, okay? Then you could take that, then you would come over here, and again, you would list it out with the highest percentage without having all the errors on the notepad, on like the piece of paper. With the Avalanche, you're listing the highest interest rate first. So you're still making your minimum payments on all of your cards, but you're making extra payments to the highest card that has the highest interest rate, all right? So there are pros and cons to this, and I'm gonna share with you at the end what I prefer. Pros to this by using this method is that you're saving more money long-term because you're trying to knock out the highest interest rate. So step one is the highest interest rate, which we call it the Avalanche. You're listing out your credit cards based on the highest interest rate, okay? The second way that you can do this is called the Snowball Method. The Snowball Method is all about momentum. I love this one. So you're listing out your cards by the smallest cards first, okay? Again, all of your minimum payments are getting paid. Any extra money goes to the smallest balance. So let's talk about this. You list out all of your credit cards. Let's say now we're going to take this piece of paper and we are going to list out all of our credit cards. List out all of your credit cards with their balances, okay? Take this, put it on here, but put it in the order of the smallest balance, okay? So Macy's, $100. That's your balance. Michael's, I owe $300. Capital One, $500. Credit One, $1,500. Does that make sense? You're listing your credit cards out by the lowest balance, okay? So the first one was interest rate. The second one is balance. So the first one was our Avalanche. The first is your Avalanche, which is about your interest rate. So you want to list all of your cards by the highest interest rate. The second way is the Snowball. And you're listing it by the smallest balance. Preferably, I like this one. The reason why I like this one better is because it's easy for me. I feel that there's an accomplishment when I list out my cards with the smallest amount. So if we go back over here, instead of making a mess in your budget planner like I did here, very chaotic, right? You can do this on a blank piece of paper, and then what you would do is take this information and then put it on a new page where it's completely, blank. And then you're gonna look at your balances. You're gonna be like, oh, for this example, if I'm looking at this one would be like the first one, right? Because that's only $90. The second one that I would owe would be like $176. Then it would be $215, $247, $250. So I would put it in that order on the credit card tracker, okay? And I'm listing everything with the smallest credit card balance, and then I feel good when I knock off a credit card. And I think I was doing this for a video, a breakdown, but like there's two different ways. A lot of people see this as, okay, well, the Avalanche method, I'm spending a lot of money on my interest rates and I want to just pay that off. So there's no right or wrong. It's really up to the individual person. Personally, I just like the Snowball method because it's easy. When I pay off a card, it gives me that momentum to be like, okay, I can keep going, I got this. And you feel really good about yourself. So then you're doing the next one. List out all of your cards. Whatever you decide to do, the point is you make your minimum payments on all of your credit cards, okay? But you wanna focus on one card that you're taking out, right? So you're not getting overwhelmed. And that's the best way to do it. And then you would double up on that payment, okay? So you list out all your credit cards. You have your balances from like the lowest, this one's 100, this one's 500, 600, 8, 10, you know what I'm saying? So you're listing them out. And then you're like, okay, well, you have to pay your minimums on all of them. You stay consistent and you stay on time. But what you want to do is tackle these, get rid of them. So you take that one card, and instead of making the minimum payment, you're now going to double it up. And it's faster, and you can get rid of it very quickly. But I can't tell you what to do because that's not my place to do, but I just like to give you the information that these are the two methods that you can actually use. So the Avalanche is option one, where you are dealing with the highest interest rate. And the second way is the Snowball method, which is the smallest balance. So each time you pay off one, you roll that amount into the next. So now you paid this, boom, we're gonna take it, now we're gonna move on to the next card. We're gonna take that doubled payment, we're gonna pay off, another card, we're gonna make that balance go down even faster, and you keep going and you keep doing this and keep doing this. So I do hope that I explained it the best I can. I hope that you can understand what I mean. So basically, my suggestion is every month you should list out all of the credit cards that you have, and you would log into your accounts, log in, find out what your balance is, write it on, you know, a piece of paper, and then you would put it in the order. So if you just wanted to put it in, if you were doing the Snowball Method, then you would put it in the order of the balance. So Macy's 150, you know, Michael's 200. You're just putting it in the order, and then you're making your minimum payments, but you're doubling up on that smallest bill, and you're getting rid of that quickly. Next pay period, again, make a payment, like get rid of it so you know which ones you're working on. So that's kind of what I do. Everybody has their own way of doing things, but at the end of the day, this is just list out your credit cards, list them all out so you can actually see, look at what that balance is, and look at, you know, the interest rate as well, but look at what would work for you. What's the better decision and the better choice for you to make? I like the Snowball Method because I can see that smaller balance eliminating faster than if I were to do the highest interest. I know it's probably not the right thing to do, but in my eyes, it's, at least if I'm staying consistent and I'm paying off my cards, that's what's important. So you really got to just find what works for you. A lot of people get very overwhelmed when they see the highest interest rate. So that's why I don't make it a point to say, you know, what you should do. These are the two options that I give people. And at the end of the day, if you don't even want to do these two options, you don't have to. This credit card tracker is to list out all of your credit cards. That's it. List them out and what your payments are and what the balance is. List out, here's the date. What is Macy's? This is my payment. This is the interest. This is my balance due. And you're just doing that for all of your cards. And then you can tackle one at a time. So I hope that makes sense. I really do hope that makes sense. If it does, please leave me a comment below. Like I said, I really wanted to get this video out on this credit card tracker in the budget planner. This is one of the videos that I had on my list to do that I really wanted to do before I started July. That is okay, because after this one, I will be doing another video on freedom of finances. And what does that mean? What does that mean? What does financial freedom really mean to you? Think about that. I will do another video and share that for you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and most importantly, say hello below. Bye.